Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Travis Dykes. Today we're going to be working on how we can use bass modes in our playing. So this will be the part 2 of our bass modes lesson. So why don't you go ahead and grab your bass and we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to go over 3 different ways or 3 different uses for bass modes just in playing in general, and just how we can take it in more of a practical sense. So before we even get to the 3 different things, there's some things you kind of need to know going into it. So one, you need to, this is going to be, since it's going to be bass modes and talking about patterns and stuff like that, you kind of need to know a little rundown of the number system. So right now I'm just going to show you just a little rundown. I'm going to do a video later that breaks it down even further. But just for now, here is just like a quick rundown of what the number system is. So if we're in the key of A, all right, we're in the key of A, and we have our major scale. We play our major scale. Okay. All we do with the number system, we just put a number with each one of those notes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. And the way you use it is that you use it like whenever, so if you don't know a song, or if there's something you're improvising, or you're playing with the band and it's just like, all right, I know I don't know the song, but hey, here's the numbers that the MD will give you numbers like, hey, it's 6, okay, 4, 1, 5. And like, even though you don't know the song, you don't have a chart in front of you or anything like that, he could just yell that out and you could play it, and it almost sounds like you know the song, and it just makes it easier to communicate ideas and different things across. So now that's the first prerequisite, and I remember I'm going to do a lesson video that goes through that a little bit slower and a little bit more, but it's just a rough overview. So now the next thing you need to know, a lot of us know our major scale because we're bass players. We're just playing the notes like pretty much the whole time, you know. But we're not thinking about the chords or what if it's major or minor. You know, most times it's just like, oh, you know, the note. Yeah, that's good. You know, we can just play the note without having to worry about the chord most of the time. But now when it comes to modes, our minds are gonna have to shift, and we're gonna have to think about the chords a little bit more so. So now this is just gonna be a basic overview of just like what these different notes are in the scale. So the 1 is a major chord. 2 is a minor. 3 is also a minor. 4 is a major chord. 5 is a dominant 7 chord. 6 is a minor chord. 7 is diminished. You're back to 1, which is major. So 7 diminished, 6 minor, 5 dominant, 4 major, 3 minor, 2 minor, back to 1 major. All right. So this is just what you need to know going into this lesson, because some of these techniques, I'm probably not going to give a whole bunch of different notes or anything like that when it comes to just like, oh, this is the A, you know. You just kind of need to know the overview of numbers because it just makes it easier to understand. All right, now the first use and practical use of modes is using it to navigate your fretboard. This is something that I just like, it really just opened my mind to when it comes to using bass modes and everything like that. Man, it is incredible. So basically the whole idea of this first one is going to be really simple, really quick, but so basically, so say we're playing a progression. Let's like 1, 6, 4, 5, and that's our whole progression, you know. Okay, and so now we're just like in this one location right here. But with modes, you know, we're repeating the same notes throughout like each mode. So like these are all the same notes. So if they're all the same notes, that means that we could pretty much access whatever our progression is in each of these modes. So like if I'm playing a 1, 6, 4, and 5 in this one, let's just say I can't do it in this one, the next one. So because they all have the same notes, so 1, 6, 4, and 5. All right, so that's in our second mode. All right, that Dorian mode. All right, so let's check it out in Phrygian. So we need to do 1, 6, 4, 5. All right, so that's in our Phrygian mode. Lydian, same way. 1, 6, 4, and 5 is the same way because it's just the three's different. All right, so now the Mixolydian, same way. So we got 1, 6, 4, and 5, all right there. And then Aeolian, 1, 6, 4, and 5. All right, and so it's in every one. In Locrian, same way. 1, 6, 4, and 5. And so it's in every one. And so whenever you think about it like that, it opens up, for me, it opened up the whole bass neck. I was like, whoa, I could see how like I can play this wherever I could play wherever I'm at. If I'm like doing if I'm playing this and I want to go up. I don't have to be stuck in one place. I can move it. I can move myself around wherever I want to, and it just depends on the song, depends on, what's happening, whatever and everything. So but the thing is, it's a really beautiful concept that could really, really, really open it up. So that's our first use. Now the second thing we're going to talk about, the second use for bass modes that we're going to talk about is using them over different chords, using the patterns over different chords. So what I mean by that is, so if we're playing our patterns, so we learned our patterns, up the neck and the key. So we learned them, up the neck. But with particular modes, you can bring out certain colors and chords that not just the modes that are just like in the regular key can bring out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through. This is going to be like kind of a really brief rundown, because this is where it could get really deep. The concepts could get really deep, but I just want to just give you the overview, give you the idea, and I'm going to throw some charts up too, as well. As I'm playing some little patterns there, in some little little shots of what chords you could actually use these for. All the a bunch of different chords that you can use for each of these modes, because I can't just remember. I can't say them all by memory. So, but anyways, now the first mode we're going to look at is the Ionian mode, which is this one right here. All right, so this goes good with major 7, major 9, major chords, any kind of major chord. This would pretty much work perfectly with. All right, now the next one we're gonna hit is Dorian. Dorian is gonna be more so you could do a lot of minor 9, minor 11 chords, minor 13 chords. So this is, this pattern goes good with those. The reason why is because it has those colors. It's got that 13 right there, that 13 color. Because the way you think about it, you have to think about it is as far as we count on major scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or 7, 1 usually. But with this, when it comes to finding these colors, you have to go, all right, you got to count this as an 8. And then we start thinking, all right, so this is our 9. That's our all right. So we got our 9 here, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this, you could say 14, but it's just a 7, and then 1. So our colors that are in there. We have the 9, the 11, and the 13. These different colors are which you can bring out with this Dorian mode. So like, so that's the reason why you can bring it out, because that you got that 13, you got that 11, you got that 9 in there, so it makes it easier. Now, what I really love to use with Dorian for my gospel heads, so I could use it like in when I'm creating gospel. Like, so if you're playing something. I couldn't even get it out. So. All right, so yeah, so you could use it in a lot of different contexts like that. It's really cool. It really gives like a really cool sound for that. And you can also use it to make like grooves. Any of these modes you can use to make grooves. This one's like a really kind of a funkier one. So you get like, and this is where you get those kind of grooves from, like, stuff like that. You can even do like a when you hear people do that, that's where all that comes from. It comes from these different modes, the Dorian mode especially. And when you do that little, all that is you just sliding in from the flat 3 to the 3 right there. But we'll hit on that when we get to Mixolydian. So that's the second mode or second pattern, the Dorian mode. Now Phrygian, which is the next one, is going to be a little bit different, a little bit darker. This is using the Phrygian. So you play agree with it. So you can use it with certain chords that are a little bit darker, some more darker chords, and I'll put the little chart up of the different chords you can use it with. But yeah, this is just another cool color that you can use. All right. Now Lydian, this is going to be another very useful one that I like to use a lot, which is so you can use this one. It's just all right. You can use this with a lot of any major 7 chords. You can use it with any like flat 5 chords or like sharp 11 chords. Because it has that sharp 11 right there in there. Because the sharp 11, all the sharp 11 is a flat 5. So you see, it's got. So since you have that sharp 11 or flat 5, you can use it with chords, and it makes it. That makes it come out really, really, really cool. It's got a really cool, style to it. So now, that's Lydian. Now the next one I love to use is Mixolydian. Mixolydian is another one for the, even for the gospel heads, like you can use it, for like that kind of gospel-y, really kind of sound and stuff, because it's got that dominant 7 in there. So this is the pattern. So it's just, and this is all pretty much just our modes, just in one place. So So yeah, it's just like a really, really cool, fun, you know. Now I'm gonna get stuck in here, but anyway, so that's pretty much it for the Mixolydian. You can use this, got that dominant. As I'm saying all these, you got all these different chords on here. Make sure you pause the video and take some notes and look at these different chords you can use with them. Now, the next one is going to be the Aeolian mode, which is our 6th mode. All right, so you can do a lot with this. This is our relative minor. You can use this with minor chords. You can use it with minor 7, minor 9s, minor 11s. This is a great scale and great mode to just like really bring out those minor colors without overbearing it or doing too much. It's really great for that. And now the last mode is the Locrian mode, which is this. This brings out a lot of colors. I don't find myself using this one all too often, but it really brings out whenever you do use it, it brings out a ton of color in the chords you're playing, and it's just like makes you make that stank face. It's like, ugh, like when you use it right. So this is the pattern. And so those are the chords that you can use it with below that are very more common and bring out a lot of the great colors in it. So yeah, and so that's pretty much the different ways and different chords that you can use these different modes with. So yeah. All right, now our third and last use, just for this video, there's a lot of different uses you can use, but the third and last one for this one is using modes to bring out colors just within your different notes or chords that you're playing. So like, not even just your chords, but like just like if you're playing a song, so say I'm playing like a 1, 6, 4 progression. What this concept is saying is that you can play, like, so say I'm playing a 6, I can play my 6 mode within the key, without like changing it like we were just with our last technique, within like necessarily different chords, is you can play the mode within that note. So like you're on the 6, if I start playing different the pattern and playing the colors within this particular mode within the key, it brings like a really cool color and vibe, to what you're playing. So if I'm playing, you see how it makes that like, so it brings it more like just like a different color. So if I go to a minor chord, it makes it darker. Major chord, that brings out that 7 in there a little bit more. So yeah, and whenever you make colors, and I didn't say this in the last one, but this is one that you can use with all these concepts. Make sure you highlight what's different, the color that's different, the color that you're trying to highlight. So like when you create a lick, so I'm playing, so I'm going to that 6. I don't want to like, do something like that's not going to highlight, the minor aspect of it. So what makes a minor is this little, that mode right there, that like that flat 3, and 5 right there. That makes it sound really minory. So I want to like create a lick around that, And even with the 4, and you can just creating a lick around. See that flat, the flat 5, like we were saying, the flat 5 right there, or the, sharp 11 really is, but in this it would be in the key, so it wouldn't be necessarily a sharp 11, but bringing out those colors makes your licks sound and feel better. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a very fun lesson to teach and very fun lesson to do. Hopefully you were all able to take something from it. And as always, if you have anything that you want me to teach or anything that you're unsure of, feel free to leave a comment below. You can message me on Instagram at tdykes. You can message me at tdykes music on my Facebook page. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.